All right, hello and welcome. This is our FitEssentials Basics class. My name is Shauna. I'll be guiding you through. I do not have any of my blood flow bands with me today. I left them at my other location, so I'll be moving without them, but I will be keeping an eye on the clock for anyone that is using the bands. I'll give you that heads up at the 20-minute mark to go ahead and take the air out. So when you're ready, go ahead and come on up to standing. We're going to jump right into it today with a little bit of stretching and a little bit of breathing. So we're gonna do our standing cat-cow to get started. Go ahead and check in with your feet. We want them just underneath those hips. Draw your stomach in so we aren't arching that low back. And now long spine. Send your hips back. Bring your hands down to the bottom of the thighs. From here, as we breathe in, we're gonna think angry cat back. Lift up between those shoulder blades. Bow your head down. And then as you breathe out, a soft arch, drawing your shoulders back and down. Lift the head, looking up and forward. Very good. Breathing in, roll those shoulders forward, draw that belly in, chin down, and breathing out, gentle arch. Fantastic. Maybe one or two more. Go ahead and move through with your own breathing. Fantastic. Last time. Very good. On your next inhale, go ahead and push through the feet. Come on up to standing. We're going to move into our gates of heaven next. So feet about hip width apart. Let your arms be nice and heavy at the sides. And then we're going to start to rotate here. You can let those elbows bend and just lightly tap front of the torso and back of the torso. Look at the time it with that exhale. Fantastic. Turn that head and neck as well. We're going to go about another 15 seconds here. Get some good motion through the spine. Also helps with our circulation of all that fluid that runs up and down your spinal column. Maybe just a nice gentle smile as you move through. Remind your body how much we enjoy movements, how much we benefit from movements, and just slowly bring it down to a stop. Fantastic. From here, just readjust those feet slightly. Either over the shoulders, at the shoulders, or you can go behind the head. We're going to warm up a little bit of hinging next. So with a soft bend in those knees, you're going to push your butt back, bow your chest forward, then drive through the feet, squeeze the glutes and stand. Long spine, bowing down and standing tall. Just move through at your own motion, holding that nice, strong midline. So drawing that stomach in. And then depending upon your flexibility, just don't go beyond about 90 degrees. So once you're fairly level to the ground, that's as far as you should go down. Maybe one or two more. Good. Hinging forward, standing tall. Excellent. From here, you can either pick up a nice light weight. We're going to do our cross body chops next. Or on the first round, I'm just going to interlace my hands, kind of make a fist with my body. With the feet hip width apart. I know I've got Moose that joined me here. We're going to bow down, bring your hand towards your left hip, and then we're going to pivot that left foot as we come over that right shoulder. Breathing in, bowing forward, up and over the shoulder. Good job. Draw that stomach in. Gentle twist. Wonderful. Breathing in and breathing out. Good opener for that hip on that left side as well. Some strong work for that midsection. Excellent. Good. So it's like straight arms when you're down. As you go over the shoulder, you can bend those elbows. Maybe one more here. And switching sides. So readjust the feet as needed. Now we're going to go from your right hip over your left shoulder. Good. Breathing in as you bow down, breathing out on that exhale. Good job. Over and up, allowing a little pivot through that right foot, opening through the hip. Awesome. Nice and strong. Down, standing tall. One more time, everyone. Over, up, and rest. Great job. If you were using a weight, go ahead and set that down. And we're going to move into our step jacks next. So you can either move through the arms by itself if you feel a little bit uncomfortable on the feet today, or you can add the side step. Anybody that wants to do a jump jack, that's great as well. Welcome, Diane. Just make sure you mute yourself as you come in. Great to see you. Wonderful. 10 more seconds here. Up and down. 3, 2, 1, and everybody take a break. All right, we're gonna do one stretch and then we're gonna go back to the top of those gates of heaven. Go ahead and take your right hand on the hip, left hand to the left shoulder, and just a little bit of a stagger stance. So you're gonna step that left foot back behind you just a little bit. And now we're gonna do that cross body reach. Reaching over, breathing in as you draw back to the start and look to reach a little bit higher each time. So lengthen through that side body, a little bit of a stretch through your lats. Good. On the next one, if you can reach overhead, come directly overhead. And if you're comfortable to look up at that arm, go ahead and peer up to that hand. There you go. Stretching that side body, bringing it down and up and over. Wonderful. One more time there. Down and reach, peering up. Very good. And now let's switch sides, everybody. So step your left foot forward. And now we're going to go the right foot back. So that's going to bring that right hand to the right shoulder, starting with that cross body reach. So just reaching straight across the body, drawing it back. Over and reach. Very nice. Breathing in, draw it back. Breathing out, reach a little bit higher each time, like now over the forehead area and back. One more time there. Wonderful. And now if you can go right overhead, more of a side bend, coming up to overhead. Good. Breathing in, bending towards that side, breathing out, bending away from that side, turning the head and neck up towards the hand. Wonderful. Last time, down and up and take a rest. Great work. All right, going back to the top, back to that gates of heaven. Letting those elbows bend. We're going to go 30 seconds here. Get that nice, comfortable twist. Moose likes to be the center of the show. We're just glad he's not barking at us today. Turning that head and neck as well. Halfway through, another 15 seconds here. Wonderful. Good. Maybe a couple more. And then on this time, let's slowly come to a stop. Very good. If you're comfortable to hold a light weight for those cross-body chops, go ahead and pick up a light dumbbell or kettlebell works too. And then I'm just going to hold this weight right between the hands. Feet about hip width apart. We're going to start going from your left hip and we're going to throw the water over that right shoulder. Good. Bowing down, breathing in as you extend the hip and stand tall, breathing out. Good. Down and up. No, there is absolutely no reason to bark here. You have full range. You can go wherever you want. Breathing in and breathing out. Wonderful. 2 to 3 more. Up and out. Good. Last time. So from one hip to the opposite shoulder, Diane, and reset. Great job, everyone. Second time, second side. 2, 1 from your right hip. Pivot that right foot as you go over your left shoulder. Down and up. Good. Breathing in and breathing out. Wonderful. Hold that belly nice and strong as you bow down and just a nice solid pivot. Opening through the hip. Solid. 2 to 3 more here. Down and up. Final time. And rest. Fantastic. If you were using a weight for that, go ahead and set it down. And now if you can reach the hands behind you, a little bit of a different variation, you're going to reach the hands behind you and then come up to overhead. So step jacks or jump jacks with a behind the back clap. Open those shoulders a little bit different. Good. So clap behind, clap overhead. Forces that chest to open a little bit. If you can't quite reach the hands behind you, just come as close as you can. Nice. 10 more seconds. Good. Don't forget to smile. 3, 2, 1, and everybody rest. Alrighty. Go ahead and grab a drink. You can either do a standing toe touch, or if you'd like to join me in the chair, I'm going to do a toe touch from seated. So sitting on the edge of the chair if you choose, or standing tall, hands on the thighs. Kind of bring the chin down towards the chest and slide those hands down the legs, reaching for the toes, but not forcing anything. Just seeing where's your range of motion for the moment. Breathe nice and deep into the back of the body. 2 to 3 big breaths, trying to really expand those lungs. On that next inhale, make your way back to standing or seated. And we're going to stretch that upper body neck. So again, if you prefer to stand, you can do it standing. I'm going to show it seated. Go ahead and raise your right arm straight up in the air. Draw the chin in, tuck the ribs down as you bend that elbow, reaching around to grab that elbow and pulling it back. Now sit or stand as tall as you can. If this is a tough position for you to hold that posture, stay here. If you want to go a little bit deeper, add that side bend. So throughout, try to pull that chin in and gently bend away from the side you're stretching. Very nice. All righty, release the arms there. In between sides, let's just gently circle through the head and neck. Chin down. Being just nice and gentle on that range of motion. When you're ready, lightly circle the head the opposite direction. Very good. And then when you're ready, now let's stretch that second arm. So chin in, belly drawn in so I don't arch the back. Raise your left arm straight up this time, bending that elbow, reaching around, either staying tall here and breathing, or you can add that little side bend, bending away from the side you're stretching. Fantastic. All right, we've got another series coming up next. I do encourage a little bit of weights for this next one. Go ahead and release those arms when you're ready. If you were seated, come on back to standing. We're going to get ready for some dumbbell rows and a little bit of squatting in between arms. So a light to moderate weight, starting in your non-dominant arm. You can either stagger stance and do this work, or I'm going to show with the chair, drawing the belly in. Non-working arm is going to rest on the seat of the chair. You can still stagger the feet here, having a little bit of a step back and the side holding that weight. And then when you're ready, we're going to pull that elbow nice and high, breathing out as you pull the weight up, breathing in as you reach forward. Good. Getting that motion through the shoulder, up and down, pulling that elbow as high as you can. 10 more seconds here. Sometimes those shoulder blades get a little stiff along that rib cage. So you want to keep that motion and build that strength. Go ahead and rest. You're going to set your weight down, standing up in between sides. So I was on my left arm. Make sure you take note of which arm you were just rowing with. You can hold on to the chair as needed, or you can simply raise those arms out in front. We're coming down into some squats next. So sinking those hips back, reaching those arms up and forward, pushing your knees nice and wide. If it's been a while since you've done any squatting, just be patient with yourself. Work into that range of motion. Make sure that you're keeping your heels planted, but try to also push your big toe into the floor. Very good. Maybe 1 or 2 more. Sinking back, looking up, and final time. Back, 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 knees push wide, and stand. Good job. All right, let's get ready for that dumbbell row on the opposite side. I'll be going to my right arm. You're on the same side as me, or the opposite. This is bringing me some sticks. All right, everybody, stagger the feet, and when you're ready, go ahead and begin. Elbow nice and high, midline held strong. Once you know the motion, turn your head so you're looking forward, meaning down towards that front hand or the front foot. So instead of extending the neck, looking ahead of yourself, looking down towards that lead leg. Kind of hold your spine nice and neutral. Wonderful. 1 or 2 more reps. And resting there. Great job. Go ahead and come on back to standing. We're going to do an overhead press or reach next. So if you'd like to use weights for this, we're going to have 1 in each hand. If you want to keep your legs moving a little bit more, you can do a little dip and drive. If you want to give the legs a rest, you can just stand and either press or reach up to overhead, alternating those arms. Squeeze the glutes. Very good. Breathing out as you push up, breathing in as you lower down. And then try to get those elbows pointing straight ahead at me. So sometimes we tend to wing those elbows wide. So elbows forward. Fantastic. Good. This is our last exercise of this series. And then we're going to go back to the dumbbell row. Coming up next. 10 more seconds here. Good. Amy's working that push press, adding that little dip of those legs, keeping that blood flow going into those thighs. 2, 1, and everybody rest. Good. We're going to take 30 seconds. Feel free to grab a drink. Anyone that wants the intensity a little bit higher, you can march in place, quick feet in place, anything like that. All righty. And then 15 seconds, we're going to be back to the left arm. Let's get everybody on the same page. We'll start everybody on the left arm of that dumbbell row, or I'm going to use the kettlebell for this second round. Stagger the feet, midline drawn in, and 2, 1. Here we go. Elbow nice and high. This is one of our favorite exercises to build that postural strength, meaning that upper body posture. Trying to work against those rounded forward shoulders. You want to have a nice broad chest with those shoulder blades back on the torso. So that's what muscles that we're working here. Trying to squeeze that shoulder blade in towards the spine. Maybe 1 or 2 more. And rest. Great job. If you remember, we worked our squatting in between arms. If anybody wants to hold weights with your squats, you can hold weights in your hands, but make sure you have that range of motion first. So when you're ready, I'm holding on to that chair, sinking on down, taking your time. Find that bottom position, and then as much as you need the arms, you can use the arms. As little as you need the arms. Good, knees push wide. Sometimes you'll hear some clicks and pops. Fantastic. Taking your time, drawing that belly in, holding strong through all those muscles of the pelvic floor as you lower on down. So try to engage all those smaller muscles. Maybe 1 or 2 more. Sinking back. Push those knees wide. Drive into the ground as you stand. Fantastic. All right, take a break from those squats and then make your way to the right arm on your dumbbell row. Good. Draw the stomach in, long spine, right foot steps back, and 2, 1, begin. Good job. Head and neck nice and neutral. Looking down at the front hand or front foot. Also take note here, you want to try to draw the shoulder out of your ear. Sometimes we start to shrug that shoulder up and in. So think back and down and focus on that high elbow position. Continuously breathe, breathing in, breathing out. Keep that airflow going. Good job. 2 to 3 more, up and down. 2, 1, and rest. Woo! All right, last exercise in this circuit. But first, going to let out your air if you're wearing those bands. If your overhead position is tough for you standing, you can also do this exercise seated. We're going to go back to that alternating overhead press. So I'm going to show it from seated. Remember, you can do that little dip and drive with the legs if you choose. And then when you're ready, elbows forward. And then here we go. One arm up and then the other. Breathing out and breathing in. Fantastic. And sometimes we tend to press out to the side. I want you to think about bringing that weight right over the center of your head as you lift up. Good job. So our last exercise here of this series, we're gonna go just a little bit longer than the last round. We're gonna take about another 15 seconds. If you need to rest sooner, you can always just sit or stand here with the weights on your shoulders. Try not to go to failure, but get a nice gentle burn through those arms. Good. 2, 1, and everybody rest. Fantastic. All right. Mid-back rotations next. You can either join me in the chair, or if you know it from hands and knees, you can go on hands and knees. We're going to take one hand behind the head, draw the stomach in. You're going to breathe in as you bring that elbow towards the opposite side of the body, and then you're going to gently push against your thigh, those of you that are seated, and rotate, looking past the elbow. Breathing in, bowing down, breathing out, sitting tall. Turn that head and neck. Nice gentle twist. Let's go 5 times on each side. Good. One more on this side. And switch. Good job. Same idea on the opposite side of the body. Hand behind the head. Bowing down. Sitting tall. Gently rotate. Good. Even though we've got all these fancy cars these days with those mirrors, they don't really require us to check our blind spots a whole lot, but we still want to be able to turn and look over that shoulder on both sides. I lost track. 1 or 2 more. And rest. Good job. If you know the child's side stretch on the ground, Amy, you could do that one. We're going to do a variation from seated here. Bring your feet a little bit closer. Hold on to the edge of the chair. Bring your hand to the opposite knee. And now we're going to slide this hand down, bowing that chin in, bowing that head down, and looking to get a little bit of a stretch, like on the opposite side of the body. Try to send your breath into that area where you're feeling that stretch. When you're ready, coming back up to seated, and same thing on the second side. Sitting tall, hand to the knee, and then slide down that outer leg, bow that head down, just get a nice stretch on the side of the body in that lower back area. Remember to take those deep breaths, trying to really send that airflow deep into your body. And coming back up. Fantastic. Go ahead and pull yourself up to standing. We're going to do a couple more exercises. We are going to work your balance a little bit on this last piece. So if you want to stand near a wall or keep your chair nearby to help with your balance. But first, let's loosen up those hips a little bit. After seated, we're going to work a little bit of some deadlifts in the last portion here. So deadlifts, meaning picking a weight off the ground from a dead stop. Go ahead and circle the hips the other way. Good. All right, so from here, if you want to bring a weight over, you can either have one weight and you can hold it right between the legs. On the first round, I'm going to show you with my lighter weights, and I'm still going to hold them between the legs. So I'm going to walk the feet nice and wide. I've got my weights for my overhead press, drawing that stomach in with a little baby bend in the knees. We're going to push the hips back and then push those knees wide, push through the legs, standing tall. So coming down, practicing that long spine position. Now, depending upon your flexibility, if it doesn't feel good to take it all the way to the floor, then go about knee height and standing tall from there. So knees push out as you hinge, like a door hinge. Wonderful. Breathing in, controlling down, breathing out, standing tall. Excellent. Breathing in. I'm going to go about another 15 seconds here. So move at your own tempo. If you want to move a little bit faster, you can. I like to show it a little bit slower, especially for this basics class. Just keeping that good control of your movements. Last time, everyone. Fantastic posture at the top. And when you finish that last rep, go ahead and set the weights down. We're going to work some balance next. So you can stand near the wall, near the chair. You're gonna lift up through the hips like you've got some guidelines pulling us up taller to the ceiling, either hands at the side, lifting one foot off the ground. And now if you want a little extra challenge, we're gonna loosen up that ankle as we balance here. So turning that ankle around. Very good. Rotate it the other way. And now watch yourself talk. If you're struggling with your balance at all, we tend to get really critical with ourselves. Good job. Set that leg down. That was my left leg. Make sure you note which leg that you had up in the air. In between sides, I want you to walk your feet a little bit wider. And we're going to do a couple windmill stretches. So my arms are going to splay out wide, little bend in those knees. And now we're going to reach the hand towards the opposite knee. Over and up. Squeeze those glutes as you stand tall. Squeeze those shoulders back. Make sure you stand all the way up in between sides. Sometimes we don't always stand all the way up. Even younger folks these days, we kind of see that we get drawn forward. So we want to reinforce the back of the body. Squeeze those shoulders back. Squeeze your tush. Good. Even yourself out side to side. And then work on walking those feet back in. Fantastic. All right, getting ready to balance. So I'll be balancing on my left, picking up that right. Lift up through the belly, squeeze those shoulders back. And here we go. Option to add the ankle rolls. Watch so you don't start to shrug those shoulders high. So think long neck, palms forward. Good. Remember, it's all practice, and it's my job to make it look easy. Good. And take a pause there. Fantastic. All right, we're going to go through one more time, back to the deadlift. So if you have a little bit heavier weight on this last round that you can pick up, or if you have two weights that you can hold one in each hand, bring over the heaviest that you feel comfortable with. Place the feet right about hip width apart. You always want to kind of check in with your midline, especially if you're someone that tends to go into a sway back posture. Stomach in, hips and shoulders stacked right over top of each other. Good. From here, long spine as you send your body back. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and stand tall. Breathing in as you control down. Kind of bracing through the body. Breathing out as you stand up. Wonderful. We're going to spend another 30 seconds practicing this motion. How you pick up laundry baskets, pick up grocery bags. Very good. We're just training for life here. The stronger you are, the easier it is to do what we need to do in life. Take care of our household, help with our families, and just keep ourselves feeling good throughout our lifetime. Maybe one more time, everybody. Stand tall and then practice those same mechanics. Long spine as you set it down. Good job. All righty, wonderful. As you're getting set there, we're going to go back to some balance work. But first, this little side stretch flow here. One hand goes up to overhead. The other hand comes towards that other thigh. Wonderful. You can add a little lean with it as well. You want to turn the head a bit, look up to the hand that reaches overhead. And just keep breathing. Good. Beautiful. Even yourself out side to side. For the last stretch, it's going to be that tough one. If you can't grab the foot, then just work a straight balance. If you can grab the foot, we're going to do the hardest one last, quad stretch. So ideally, we grab the foot. If you can stand on one leg and do it, that's fantastic. If you can't quite get it, again, just practice that balance or do the best you can. Ooh. Ooh, there's my balance a little off today. And whenever I need to readjust myself for like that balance, I'm really focused on kind of gripping the floor with my toes, that downside leg. Less than 10 seconds, everyone. It's also a little bit easier to balance without shoes on. Good, go ahead and release that foot. Take note of which side, because in between sides, we're going to do one stretch, a little bit of mobility, walk those feet out, coming down, hands on the bottom of the thighs, right over top of the knees. And now we're gonna use the hand to kind of drive the knee wide as you turn the body and look over the opposite shoulder. So I'll breathe in, look forward, breathe out, gentle twist and push that knee wide. Get a little opening for that inner thigh and a little bit of a twist through your spine. Let's go about 2 to 3 times on each side. Again, breathing in as you come back to center, breathing out with that rotation. Make sure you even yourself out side to side. And then when you're ready, push those legs, come on back to standing. Shimmy those feet in, and then we'll balance it out with either the quad stretch or that balance practice on the other side. So here we are, lifting up, squeezing back, grabbing that foot as able. Good. Final 30 seconds here. Keep pulling up through the belly, keep squeezing those shoulders back. Fantastic. 10 seconds left. Hips as level as you can. And 2, 1, and rest. Set that foot down. All right, let's do our final breathing and stretching together. Feet about hip width apart, hands come in front of the heart. As you breathe in, raise those arms up to overhead, lifting up out of the body. And then as you breathe out, circle them out and down to the sides. Fantastic. Try to take a nice deep breath in through the nose as your sinuses will allow. Lift up out of the spine and then breathing out through the mouth. Good. Let's breathe in some positive energy, breathe in some love, some peace, some joy. Let go of the worry and send all that positive energy out and share it with your friends. Fantastic. All right, give yourself a round of applause. That concludes our first session. If you want to hang out for session 2, we'll be right back. Thanks for moving with us.